Well, today I'm delighted to be joined by Jeremy Skillington, the CEO of Poolbeg Pharma. Poolbeg develops innovative medicines for diseases with high unmet needs, focusing on rare diseases, AI-led programs, and large markets like cancer, immunotherapy, induced CRS, infectious diseases, and obesity. Jeremy, welcome.
Hi, good morning. Good to see you.
Good morning. And this morning, Jeremy, you published your interims results. It seems like you've had a busy period for Poolbeg, especially with the increased focus on rare and orphan diseases. Could you share with the team how the team has been strengthened to support your growth?
Yeah, happy to do that. Yeah, we kickstarted the year this year, completing the onboarding of three former executive leadership team members for Amryt Pharma. And for those who aren't aware, Amryt was co-founded by our chairman, Cathal Friel, and they were acquired by Chiesi Pharmaceutical last year for $1.48 billion. So a good success story. And their main focus was on rare and orphan diseases. So the team has a very strong track record of establishing and scaling sales infrastructures. So I think, bringing the team on was fantastic. So a terrific team we've built. And as I say, with that kind of focus direction on rare and orphan diseases, I think we have all the pieces in place now to bring in drugs, advance our own drugs, and obviously tackling these diseases with high unmet medical needs.
Well, that's great to hear. I know back in April you signed this option agreement as part of the focus on rare and orphan
Yeah.
diseases. I mean, can you share with us how that's progressing?
Yeah, this is your 12-month option agreement with Silk Road Therapeutics, and they kind of have a topical, this muco-adherent drug, petoxifilin, for oral ulcers associated with Behçet's disease. And again, this is, it's a very difficult disease, very challenging disease. There's no cure, very little efficacy out there. It causes severe inflammation and, leading to very, debilitating symptoms, particularly these oral ulcers, which impact, speaking and eating and other essential functions. And again, brings, seriously debilitating impact to patients' lives. And the team at Silk Road have brought this forward. They have very compelling phase 2 data, completed a clinical trial. So again, they showed that they're demonstrating faster healing to these oral ulcers, with their drug, compared to standard of care, reduction in pain as well, which is very important. And the team have at Silk Road have acquired FDA fast track and orphan drug designation. So very excited to bring this forward. And so what the option does is gives us, time, opportunity to look, under the hood, as it were, look at the drug in particular at a deeper level, kind of plan forward, looking at, time to, clinical trials, time to marketing, cost, et cetera, that. And we're very encouraged that we do see this as say the kind of fast track we talked about, but potential for this 505(b)(2) pathway in the US, which is relying on previous clinical data for the drug. So it looks like we can kind of move this forward. So we're doing diligence on that right now, but it fits nicely, let's say, with the rare and orphan diseases strategy that we're taking. As I say, this is kind of a later stage product that we're still doing diligence on, but very excited about.
Well, it sounds to me like there's a connection between your work on rare and orphan diseases and the potential for the POLB 001 to help prevent cancer, immunotherapy-induced CRSs, and particularly in patients with rare blood cancers. I mean, considering how large that market is, would you say finding a solution for CRS has become a key priority for global pharma?
Yeah, I mean, it's a good point. It's a nice, as I say, segue from the work that we've been doing over the last number of years on POLB 001. And
Yeah.
again, we've shared with the market, we've seen positive clinical trial data reduction in inflammation associated with an LPS challenge study. So that kind of mimics nicely the potential to reduce inflammation associated with CRS. But you're right. I mean, the way the cancer immunotherapy world has moved, looking at these T cell engaging bispecific antibodies and CAR Ts, and I try not to get very technical, but the next wave of cancer treatments is bringing your own immune system into the sphere and tackling the tumors themselves. But yes, there's a side effect to that, which is the cytokine release syndrome. Now, again, the CAR Ts and bispecifics, huge market, growing market, expected to reach 120 billion globally by 2030. So you can see that the docs, the oncology physicians are moving in that direction. But I say the issue is this cytokine release syndrome, which is a side effect. About 70% of patients on average who receive these cancer immunotherapies develop the CRS. And again, the challenge with that is that you have to have the patients in these specialist cancer centers, so they know that CRS may occur. So you have to have them in a hospital to just in case it does, to be able to treat them. So again, the challenge with this is that significant healthcare costs are becoming limiting to these specialist centers, and that's estimated to be 5.5 billion by 2030. So as I said, we see that we have a potential not just to treat, but obviously to prevent the occurrence or of this cytokine release syndrome in this particular market. And yes, the industry is scrambling. They're looking for solutions for this because there's a bit of a bottleneck. It's holding the industry back, that more patients could get these, as I say, T-cell engaging cancer immunotherapy drugs if it weren't for CRS. So we see that we can play a very, very important role here. And again, linking back, as I say, to the rare and orphan, like we're going after disease like multiple myelomas, diffuse large B-cell lymphomas, which again, in themselves would be in that orphan disease setting. And again, for that alone, we expect the CRS market to be, upwards of $10 billion. So again, we see this as, a very exciting space where we can, as they introduce POB-001 to play a role. And again, very excited about the direction that's taking. And again, it can go beyond these, as I say, myeloma, these liquid tumors, potentially into solid tumors as the technology, as these, T-cell engaging technologies increase. So yeah, very exciting time. And as I say, we feel that we've got very strong data to move us in that direction.
Well, it's certainly a fascinating area. I mean, focusing on that for a little bit, could you give us an update on the progress made with POLB-001 sort of in the first half of the year?
Yeah, absolutely. As I say, it is a core focus of the companies. We did run some very exciting, these kind of preclinical and in vivo models earlier this year, and we did see that efficacy, that proof of concept that yes, POB-001 hits a target, P38 MAP kinase, blocking that blocks cytokine release syndrome in these preclinical studies. So again, that gives us confidence that we're moving in the right direction. We also we're able to strengthen our patent filings with this in vivo results. So again, what's critical in this industry is protecting your inventions. So we see this as a strengthening of our patent protection. And indeed, on the back of that, in May of this year, we did get a fully granted patent from the USPTO for, as I say, we call it our immunomodulator 2 patent application. And again, that's covering a class of drugs that includes POB-001 for treating hypercytokinemia or cytokine storm, and indeed preventing hypercytokinemia as well. So again, very strong, robust pipeline of patents that we're building. And even beyond that, we dug deeper into the role that POB-001 could play in the cytokine release syndrome space. We did a full commercial analysis of what this would look like. We built what's called a target product profile, what the drug would like when it's administered. Got a lot of clinical trial experts to review our data, our program, our ambitions, and we got, as I say, significant endorsement of the approach that we're taking. So again, we see this as all giving us confidence that we're moving in the right direction, and as I say, continue our engagement with pharma partners in this space as well, because there's a lot more pharma companies are moving into this T-cell engagement space, realizing that cytokine release syndrome is an issue that they need to deal with.
GLP-1, that continues to be a bit of a hot topic in the market. Can you explain just how big an opportunity is that, Jeremy? And how are you advancing with your oral GLP-1 program?
Yeah, that's been remarkable to watch. It seems like every few weeks, or at least every month, there's new data coming out from clinical trials. A lot of pharma companies, their market capitalization has increased dramatically if they're in this GLP-1 space. But again, a lot of, as I say, interest. Initially, it started off in diabetes, but now it's moving into the obesity space. But it has been multiple, health benefits beyond that. But they estimate about 42% of the US population is effectively obese, which again needs to be dealt with. That's a kind of disease in itself. But the economic impact, is quite severe and significant. It's up to 347 billion in 2023 is where this economic impact plays a role. So again, a lot of people are getting prescribed these drugs, these GLP-1s, GLPs as the American call them, the GLP-1 agonists, and sales projections for just these drugs alone, these peptides, is expected to reach 150 billion by 2031. So these are huge markets. But again, it's, as these clinical data is coming out, the benefits are being demonstrated. So of course, the payers are happy to pay for that. So the vast majority of these drugs are given through injections. There's always that, seeking for, the convenience of oral delivery. So yes, we've got a program we're planning to have in the clinic this year to do a proof of technology, a proof of concept clinical trial to demonstrate that we can deliver these GLP-1 agonists orally. So again, as I say, there's that'll help expand the market in that space. And again, in our discussions with pharma companies, positive data stemming from these proof of concept clinical trials will generate significant interest and partnerability of the program itself. So as I say, we're moving forward with the team through that. Lots of work going on in the background around manufacturing and regulatory discussions. So the plan is to commence the trial later this year.
Yeah, I think there seems to be a big demand for, is it Ozempic? I think all the stars are using and stuff like that. It seems to be, like we said, the hot topic, isn't it?
It really is great potential.
Looking ahead, then, I mean, what's next for Poolbeg? What should we be keeping an eye out for in particular?
Sure, yeah. Again, as I said, these are H1 interims. A very busy, very productive first half of the year. But again, we're very much focused on partnering our existing in-house programs and discussions going on in that realm. And that's in the 001 or AI programs. We've talked about in the infectious disease space. So again, this unlocking near-term value is very important for Poolbeg assets. But we're also pivoting, as I said, as rare and orphan, looking for commercial stage rare and orphan drugs that we can bring in. And with the AMRA team in place, we can then begin to commercialize that and ramp up sales. So that's a strategy that we've spoken about before. But as I said, we do see great potential for 001 in that space, kind of building out, looking for partners in that, as I say, to help pharma address the issues that they have with their existing pipeline products. I think importantly as well, we've always been a disciplined financial company. So that strategy has paid dividends. Again, challenging times over the last few years, but we're still in a very robust cash position. We've got 10.1 million pounds sterling, still in the bank. So that gives us a nice long runway to kind of execute on the strategy that we have, as I said, while we bring in these programs to generate revenue. So again, very excited about that. And, again, as I say, that's important for us to have that kind of, runway, where we can, attribute or assign our expertise to build value for the company. And of course, with the option agreement with Silk Road Therapeutics, diligence still ongoing there. And, again, looking at this particular assets about the format in licensing and adding it to our pipeline. So that work is ongoing as well. So again, the team is extremely busy, but as I say, we have a fantastic team who are executing on the strategy. And as I say, we'll continue to drive shareholder value kind of for the second half of this year and beyond. But as I say, we're in good shape right now and happy with the progress we've made this year.
Well, Jeremy, congratulations again on the successful interims. And great to speak to you. And thank you very much for your time.
Appreciate it. Thank you.